Hey, John Hope Bryan. This is a fan question for Money and Wealth on the Black Effect Network podcast series, hosted by me. Here is a fan question from at Bennett. So it's at on IG at ATBENNET underscore at Bennett underscore. Fan question: what are some assets to hold that most people overlook? Good question. It's simple things, actually, like an insurance policy. You may not think that an insurance policy is an asset. It is. You have term and you have whole. Now, term life is not an asset because, well, sorry, my bad, is an indirect asset because even though it's term insurance, is not building any wealth. If you pass away, it still pays out a payment to your heirs, to those who are your survivors, and that creates generational wealth. That is an asset. The easiest way to create generational wealth is probably an insurance policy. And if you're a young person and you get an insurance policy, it won't cost you much. If you're 20 or 30 bucks, 20 or 30 bucks, if you're 20, I'm always thinking about money. You're 20 or 30 years old, you get an insurance policy, it will cost you next to nothing. You're in decent health. And you can get an $100,000, $200,000 insurance policy as a young person and at a very reasonable rate. But you get into 60 years old, that insurance policy, 70 years of age, that same insurance policy is going to cost close to a fortune because you may drop dead. And the insurance company is an actuarial; they're analyzing risk and return. And so you should still get an insurance policy, by the way, if you're older, because you don't want to leave your family and friends and loved ones with debt. You want to leave them as an asset. And as I keep saying, your asset cannot be on your figure out what I just hit, right? You got to have real assets. So whole life policy actually builds wealth in the insurance policy. In other words, the policy itself has value. It's an asset. It's a financial instrument. It's not just when you die. If you sell the policy, you still get benefits. But whether it's term or whole, insurance policy is something everybody should have. It is an asset. A will is an asset. Everybody should have a will. I mean, it's crazy that Prince died without a will. I believe Aretha Franklin died without a will. A number of our heroes and sheroes have passed away without a will. And it becomes a fight for what's not right. I mean, I'm sure that Prince was crawling, rolling over his grave, trying to figure, why are these people, I didn't want to have my assets now controlling them because you didn't have a will. It doesn't matter whether somebody's your kin and you love them. You may not want them managing your money, your finances, and directing your estate. So you should have a will. That's an asset, indirect asset. And in my opinion, and you should definitely have an insurance policy. And 41%, only 41% of black people, 41 to 44% of black people own a home. So I'm going to say that that's an asset that most people overlook because 75% of our mainstream counterparts own a home, and it's the number one easiest way to build wealth is home ownership. So I think you check those three boxes like before you talk to me. And I have a fourth suggestion, which is probably fractional ownership of stock. You can't afford to buy stock is 140. You can't afford to buy 5 shares of Apple at whatever the going rate is, Apple stock or whatever it is you love. Then buy a fractional share. Look that up now. Fractional share investing, and buy what it could be, $10, $25, $50 every month. Put it on auto invest of what you can afford, but don't do it. Don't do nothing because you can't do the perfect something. Don't let the perfect become the death of the good. Okay, I just gave you 3 or 4 good suggestions there answering to your question. I maybe over answered your question. Ultimately, go to Operation Hope with my coaches. They'll get you on the right track. One love. This is John Hope Bryan. I'm out.